soul is none other than recycled energy of time, recycling itself through past, present, and future dimensions through different minds of universal consciousness. This is why I say that we cannot attach titles to what we really are, because what we really are can never be defined in any language. And when I say that, we can't say that we're human. How can we say that we're human when human is an English terminology? The English language is a newborn language, right? So what did we call ourselves before the English language came forth? This is why I say extraterrestrials. I'm not saying that we green monsters or trying to make it spooky. I'm just saying that we have to analyze the root of things, because you can't honor the tree and not honor that which gave birth to the tree. I can't disrespect my mother, right? Because she gave birth to me. No matter what she do in the physical form, we still got ties in the spiritual world, whether we're against each other or not, because me and my mother's enemies in the underworld, but I still have to respect her here. And this is why we grow up and we fight our mothers and they say we disrespectful. What they really don't know is a deeper thing going on in our mind. We enemies in the underworld. All black faces is not black, or what you want to call that, because that's a classification. You get what I'm saying? Even God, when you look at the terminology God, what is God? How old is the word? 600 years old. How old is the Adam and Eve story? 2,000 years old. Anthropologists have found a bone of so-called Africans over 4 million years old. So you mean to tell me we older than God? So if we older than God, why do we keep referring to ourselves as being God? This is why I don't debate. Because it wouldn't take me a few seconds to shut that shit down. You get what I'm saying? So when we talking about metaphysics, matter of fact, for those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Osei Kufuor. I'm a metaphysician. I don't know if y'all heard about me before. Metaphysics is dealing with spiritual subjects. Spiritual subjects has nothing to do with a book, math, science, none of that. It has something to do with the spiritual subjects of the sky, what they call the sky, the sun, the moon, and the stars. This is your real school. This is your real university. Because again, this is where you get your information every time there's a paradigm shift. Right now, as we speak, there's planets being given birth to. Why? Because there's being knowledge distributed to the people who don't know the things that I'm saying. Every time I say something, you go to shock. Your DNA gets shocked. Your mind and your DNA is a computer that's attached to each other. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people, when you study in religion and spirituality, it's two different things. That's a body and a soul. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. How can we be the soul and be human? Think about that. You say we human, right, in the conscious community. But then in one aspect, they say we the soul. Which one is it? Because the human body and the soul body is two different things. That's very contradicting to me. You get what I'm saying? Is this why they consider so-called black people to be 3/5 of a human being in their constitution? See, when we looked at that and said they consider us animals, 3/5, no, it's a good thing. They consider us only 3/5. What are we really? What do they know about us that we don't know about ourselves? They ain't telling us something. They blocking your mind from being able to connect with your true self. And your true self is all around you. Your true self is not just in this body. My true self is in your mind, her mind, his mind, and I don't care if we're enemies. We still connected with each other because we're the yin and the yang of each other. And we have to respect the laws of nature. That's why when people call me and say, well, I can't do this. I'm going through this with my relationship and, I'm becoming conscious and I can't wake my significant other up. It's not for them. We ain't come here to physically bond with each other to be emotional. There's a science to emotions. We can become enslaved over the way somebody throw a spell on us by words. The things, I can sit in here and say certain things that'll make you sick. If I say it at a certain rhythm and in a certain way. That's why we say I'm stressed, you don't give me high blood pressure. Why is that? How do you catch high blood pressure when somebody's stressing you? Because your body produces salts. Whenever your mind shut down from this emotion, your body produces salt and it goes to the blood. What is the blood? The blood is your spiritual body as well. There's information in there. So if I take and scribble this information out, I can't read it no more. It's no good to me. That's what the salt is doing to your blood. You have intelligence inside of your blood. And you're scribbling it out every time you let somebody stress you or abuse you or disrespect you. You have no obligations to nobody, not even your own mother. I know that sounds cold. But even for those who say that we Christians, even your Bible says, be not of the flesh. So why you respect the flesh? Why you gonna kill yourself for flesh? Why you gonna let somebody abuse you who's in a flesh body, right? That could be of another bloodline, sucking your energy to give to their underworld bloodline. Because that's what people do. And they do it unconsciously. If I beat a woman over and over again, and I really in my mind don't know why I'm doing that, and I say I'm gonna stop, because some men don't want to do it. But they don't know that it's not a physical. You can't physically, you can't go to counseling and stop yourself. You can't go to jail to become, something that you're supposed to be by nature. It's just that the people you are around will cause you to act in a certain way. Just like they say when you eat sweets, you get all, you start to act all hyperactive. When you get around certain people can cause you to become stressed. And they don't even have to talk, it's just the way they think. They could be having negative thoughts in their mind, and it's their energy jumping onto you. And now you wake up the next day, you got cancer. And you eat alkaline, right? That's why I laugh at the conscious community. They made this alkaline stuff a religion. That's what it is. It's a religion. You have to eat this, you have to eat that. But you said you're not physical. But you want to take care of your physical body. You can't open up your third eye just eating alkaline food. You have to think a certain way. If I'm eating alkaline food and I'm still cursing, and I can't control my mind and my heartbeat to open up certain DNA to activate my shift and my evolving stature, then guess what? The food don't matter. It does not matter what I eat. You're not physical. Again, how many, matter of fact, I'm going to ask questions. I never got to do this. At every lecture, I always say I'm going to do this. How many people are here think that you exist? Raise your hand. Because there's going to be another question behind it. Sure. Now go ahead. Please don't be afraid, because this is what you got to understand and understand. In order for you to learn something, don't let your pride get in the way. Don't be afraid. Don't allow fear, because you sitting in front of two beings that is not of this world. Trust and believe in. We're not speaking no spooky prophetic stuff like these organizations, the Nation of Islam and the Moore Science Temple. We're not doing that. You get what I'm saying? So how many people think they exist? You put your hand up. Okay. Why do you think you exist? Why do you think you exist? Because it's got to be a reason why you think you exist. Psychology.
I guess feelings.
Feeling. Who told you exist because you feel something? See, I'm going to take you back to the root. You get what I'm saying?
I got a question to ask about that.
Hold on, but let me finish that. Who told you exist because you feel something? Because guess what? The left brain, right brain theory did what? It changed our direction and our emotions and our reality and illusion. So when you feeling something, it's not really there. If you had went to school and they told you that feeling something is an illusion, you wouldn't be thinking that right now. You'd be like, no, this is an illusion, because the way you got conditioned. But they taught you that you exist because you can feel. They gave you senses. But in all actuality, you only have one sense, and that's feeling. You can smell with your feeling. You can see by feeling. You can touch by feeling. When I say touch, I'm talking about you can use your mind to touch other celestial bodies, again, by way of what? Photosynthesis. To convert sunlight into energy. And what is energy? Energy is intellect. That's what you are. That's why you can never die. Thermodynamics teaches us this, that we change shapes and forms and keep moving. Shapes and forms is cultures, right? And beings. Shapes and forms is cultures and beings. Shapes is not just some circle and square. It's a culture. Cultures go by certain ways and they stick to it. They don't go outside. If they choose to stand on their square, they stay in that square. They don't go to be circles. They stick with each other. We the only people that take many shapes and run with it. Go ahead.
Okay, you just about the feeling. There's dreams, and I can actually still be able to feel things, and I believe actually things I probably was able to smell too while I was in my dream, because like I have I don't know if it's a gift or something, but also my auntie, she can do this as well. Sometimes in our dream we can actually see what's happening. Well, where am I in the future, and something happened, it happened just exactly as I dreamed.
Right. Okay. Again, I have to ask you. How do you even while you in your dream? How do you know that you feel it? You was taught that. You was taught that.
Yeah.
You didn't know what God was till it was taught to you. Mm-hmm. If I go outside and ask the bird, "What is God?" it's gonna fly away from me and look at me like I'm crazy. It's gonna say, "This nigga crazy. What is a God?" They don't even know that it's a bird. We named it. You know why we name things? Because this is how you oppress stuff. You put spells on it. But they can get away. A dream is your reality. That's the unknown. This is why people say, I dream of this and I don't know what's going on. It has nothing to do with anything outside of you. You could be dreaming of a fragment of you that's existent in another dimension right now. So if you dream about your mother driving a car down 12th Street, that's not your mother. Remember, you change shapes and forms. She probably was you in your dream in another shape or form.
Oh yeah, I heard too. We are always shape shifting too. Like two people, like married couples, they start start looking about towards the same. They start looking like each other and stuff. And I have heard that too. And I just started realizing that it's like true for real.
Right.
It's like very true.
Right.
You start
Well, the
noticing,
thing is, when we start to analyze certain things based upon existence,
Mhm.
we have to first analyze what the existence is and who created the existence.
Mhm.
It's just like if I go in the kitchen and I create some food and I put some in that food that you're allergic to. If you don't ask me what I put in it and you eat it, that'll be on you. That's laws of nature. They shouldn't have to lock me up over something that you're supposed to. When you're being careful, you're not breaking the law. You try not to break a law. When you easing around and not trying to knock stuff, that's trying not to break a law. That's part of the law. These are very detailed fragments of you respecting the laws of nature. Just those little things. Even children know to respect the law. Once they come out of the womb, they didn't read a book on how to latch onto the nipple. They automatically know it's there. They go straight to it. How do they know that though? They don't know. And this is what makes them powerful. It's what we don't know that makes us powerful. Why? Because I know it controls you. This is why we keep asking questions. And this is what keeps us alive. Because we don't know. And the white man knows the science of this. The more he teaches us, they know that we want to feel good. Once you enslave a person, and they say, okay, let's make them feel good about this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it more deep. Let's enslave them and let them watch us be doctors and bankers. And then after 200 or 400 years, let them have a chance to be able to become doctors and bankers. Then they'll think that they're part of us now. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a psychological thing. If they play chess, we play checkers. Because we scream, black power, looking like idiots. There's no power in black. Who called you black? The same person that said Christopher Columbus founded America was a goddamn lie, told you that you was black, told you that you was African. So you mean to tell me you ain't gonna believe that, but you still gonna believe 10% of the other stuff? That's a fool. These agents, the conscious community have been infiltrated. It's toxic. Anything that doesn't show growth within itself, anything that teaches you to look outside of yourself and to look back into history, and don't teach you that you are your very own history, has an agenda. That's what the pastor do. When you go to school of theology, they learn counseling and stuff so they can throw a spell on you. What they tell them? Study the stuff that black people's going through most. We broke, we need jobs. So you go to church and you talk about that stuff. And then we fall for it. Why? Because we are stressed and we are pressed under the things that you are talking about. So it makes us feel good. Yes, pastor, and you give them your last money and your lights turned off tomorrow. You don't care. Your kid's in the dark over something that you never met, something you didn't even analyze, over an illusion or a man who was working for the IRS. He don't work for God, he worked for the IRS. Why? Because he had to go to the IRS to get a 501c3 in order to talk about that God. Correct? So where's your power? IRS own you, brother. TD fakes, TD snakes, whatever you want to call them. They own that. The international bankers own that. Because once he go deposit that check in your money, when you go to that bank account, it's not going to say God on the checking account. It's going to say, it's going to have the church's name, 501c3. They collect them under a corporation. They are the mouthpiece for that corporation. Just like when you go to court, the lawyer is the mouthpiece for you when you sign that contract. You're under colorable law. You don't exist to them. Color means you don't exist. So when we call ourselves black and white and all this shit, you don't exist. That's why they don't respect you. Chinese people don't run around talking, I'm yellow. Yellow power. You're like fucking ignorant people. That's why they hate me. That's why they hate my brother, Will. Because we tell it like it is. And we're going to keep telling it like it is. All right? Now, did they know something about us that they stole from us in our DNA's consciousness? Think with me for a minute. If we weren't here before the word Africa, how can we be Africans? Many of you may say that you learned it from the educational system. The same educational system that told you that Christopher Columbus founded America, right? Told you that you were African. I just went over this. How can you say the white man is a liar but accept to be something that he classified you to be from a system that he set up? This might hurt many of you. And many of you might even say that you learned it from black scholars. But these same black scholars learned it from a system of white oppressors. I have all the respect for Dr. Clark. I have all the respect for Dr. Ben. I love them. But watch the conscious community bash me. I love them. But all of the answers is not in one teacher. If you stay in one shape, you're going to be oppressed under that shape. That's why you have to think outside of the circle. Think outside of the square. This is what this comes from. We say it literally, but we don't do it literally. Because somebody, oh, you talking about my teaching. Just like the Christians do. You talking about my Jesus. They no different from them. They no different. Now, I have nothing but the utmost respect, like I said before, for my elder teachers. But again, watch how they try to attack. As a matter of fact, we will go even further. If the word God is only 600 years old, meaning the existence of God cannot be acknowledged until the word itself. When I speak God out of my mouth, that's when God comes into existence. Right? You couldn't exist. You didn't exist till your mother named you, right? So didn't nobody know about you. Nobody know about Osei until it was on the birth certificate. So don't you know God's name is on the birth certificate too? And somebody owned that? You know how much money they're making off of God? God's name is on the contract. And the church have to pay the people who has the name on the contract. Why the Moors don't tell you that? Yeah, Pope, all of them, they get that contract. And every year they go to the White House, have an annual meeting. T.D. Jakes, Farrakhan, all of them. I'm just gonna tell you how it is. And they have to give off a certain percentage that they have made throughout that year. You get what I'm saying? So what we fail to realize is that every life, every thought, and every gift that we have is recorded in our DNA. And it goes with us wherever we go. We jump on DNA for a minute. Every piece of intelligence that we consist of is uploaded into the star systems and downloaded into your next body of DNA whenever you leave one body of intelligence to go into another. This is why I say that when you look up at the stars, you are looking at something much bigger than you think. You are watching yourself watch you. The stars is a holding system. That's a womb. You got a womb. The universe got a womb. The council of the mothers is the biggest womb. Because without the council of the mothers, there'll be no mothers. These are not mothers at the council of the mothers. These are other things. Because remember, the word mother is English too. But for a lack of understanding or understanding, we in the matrix. We in the illusion, so I have to give it to you the way that you understand it. You get what I'm saying? All right. This is why I say that when you look up at the stars, you are looking at something more important than what you think. The reason why many of you are not aware of what you were and what you did in your past life is because the memory which is stored in your DNA was extracted from you at birth. It's about to get deep. Most of it is in the breast milk, and the majority of it is in the amniotic fluid, which is a substance that they refer to as CPH4, used to raise the brain of capacity of Lucy in the movie Lucy. CPH4 is amniotic fluid, just to let y'all know. They extract that from you at birth. The blood cord and all of that, placenta, all you have records inside of this DNA that they extract from you, and they sell it to private corporations and scientists. And the scientists go into that, and they say, we can use this. Use some good scripts. Just like you got scripts on the table, they can take your DNA and put it inside of a machine that's identical to the CERN machine. They can say, well, we love these images because it's the Akashic records. This is your real Akashic records. All of the stuff that's on the wall in kemetic, that's inside of you. It can't be decoded. Nothing on the wall in kemetic can be decoded. Not with the physical eye, because our ancestors didn't use physical eyes to create the images that they put on the wall. Like I said, it's just statues to marvel at. When Martin Luther King died, what happened? They put a statue up. But they ain't trying to decode that statue. That's just like some other people coming along 1,000 years later and saying, let's decode the Martin Luther King statue. It don't make sense. Anyway, the substance that we have in our body that we call melanin is the real pyramid, which transports us in the form of thought from one dimension to another. This is why when I look at the conscious community fight over whether the hieroglyphics has been deciphered, I laugh because the hieroglyphs is not on the walls in Egypt. The hieroglyphs is a sequence recorded in our DNA that NASA and all the other scientists is trying to decode, but they have no microscopes that can pick up on the rhythm in our DNA to decode the images that the ancestors is placing on our DNA to this day, because they are not coming back from out there. They're not coming back from out there. They get y'all looking in space. So when they study in dark matter and say they hear certain sounds and global warming, that's you. They don't know that the more that they oppress something that is natural to the universe, it backfires on them. They oppressing your melanin. Every time you get very emotional, every time you get, they don't know that you turning up the thermostat. They turning up the thermostat, so they committing slow suicide to themselves and don't know it. That's a good thing though. Sometimes it's good when I look out here and see what they're doing because they actually slit their own wrists.
Oh yeah, I have a question to ask. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I mean, it look disgusting though. Like, I'm not, not trying to be no racist or nothing like that. Okay,
You can't be a racist, brother.
okay. I work at a drive through at work, and there are several white individuals, but well, they old in age. They always have like this little purple little blemishes stuff in their skin.
Europeans?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's look
You know why? Because they are genetically modified organisms. They are sulfur-based beings. We are carbon-based beings. Their cells have sulfur that coats their cells. We have carbon that coats our cells. This is why they get in the sun. What happens to sulfur once heat touches it? It burns. So when they get in the sun, they burn. And they say, well, black people, I'm going to set this for the record too, y'all. Y'all say, well, black people burn too. Yeah, because you digesting their genetically modified organisms. You eating their fucking foods. So therefore, you're going to burn. Your cells is becoming sulfur-based because you digesting a part of them. This is why every time they go and experiment on things for cures and diets, they get white mouse. They don't take the brown and gray. Why do they get the white? Why they go through all the trouble by genetically engineering the white from the gray or brown?
Oh yeah.
You don't see the white. Hold on. You don't see the white running around the environment, right? Because the physiological system of the white mouse matches theirs.
Dr. Savvy, I had watched a lecture. I was on lecture.
Mm-hmm.
The medicine over here is made for them. It's not even made for.
That's right.
It's not even made for us.
That's right. But the thing is, now they're trying to do blood infusions, and but they're about to pay so-called black women money. I think it's the Clinton Foundation that's about to pay black women money to get their breast milk. But little do they know is, what's his name, Stephen Hawking, the guy, the physicist, the astronaut. Yeah, that's the reason why he's in a damn wheelchair. He had a blood transfusion using a black man's arm down blood, and they attacked his ass. It didn't have nothing to do with him having no damn stroke or whatever. The ancestors attacked his ass. Your ancestors is in you. They ain't outside of you. They inside of you. We turn inside out to an illusion, and when you leave, you go back inside of yourself, which is your mind. Our mind is inside out. So that's what's going on. Right? Any other questions before I go?
They already started that process in certain other countries where they're getting the breast milk, and it's on the market over there in Europe.
Yeah.
It goes.
I think it's Metaphysics Corporations, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong, but for anybody watching the video, I may be wrong, but if you call me or get in touch with me, I can send all right. Let's move on. To be spiritual is to see past physical intellect. I'm going to say that again and think about what I'm saying. To be spiritual is to see past physical intellect. So when you see people say, man, I got a degree, I'm intellectual. That ain't spiritual. You sold yourself out. This is why you're going through what you're going through, because the laws of attraction see that you are disloyal. And because you are disloyal to your spiritual world, they're going to be disloyal to you. Once the dimensions start to open and close, you're going to stay here with them vampires. You're going to run around talking to yourself, living in abandoned houses that you once lived in before, but when you was rich. This is what's going on. When you study all these homeless people out here, they're attracted to certain houses for a reason. They'll never leave. They're squat in that house for a reason. It's because they see things in that house that's calling them back from a past life. Now they come back to be homeless, living in houses they lived in 20 and 30 years ago. This happens, man. It's just like we have things around us right now that we can't see, that's trying to tap into us. But you might have somebody on the other side that has the gift like Erykah Badu that can see us right now, that can use their tuning forks, open up a portal, and say, I just now heard them say this. And then that person, they hear me say this, that's probably all they need. Now they're going to die out in that dimension and go to another dimension. Think about what I'm saying. All right? To be spiritual is to see past physical intellect. I say this because you cannot look at what our ancestors did and decode it on a physical plane. The hieroglyphs was never intended to be read nor decoded with the physical eyes, because at the time that it was written and recorded, the brain capacity of our ancestors was functioning so far on another wavelength but they did not use language to encode images. They used their minds, and because they used their minds to encode images, in order for you to decode them, you will have to use the same tactic, in which we are not doing because we are using ego instead of common sense. Ego and common sense is enemies of each other. Common sense is what we were sent here with. Again, the baby comes out, it didn't read a book, it knows to latch onto its mother's breast for its nourishment. That's common sense. That's the real laws. When man made laws, that's when the infant meal came in. So they needed you to be sick. Your baby's sick, growing up shaking, nervous, can't function, above 12% brain capacity. Because all the nutrients that we're supposed to be given to it within the 9 months gestation that's produced for that child, they take that and the corporations buy it and they take and use that for themselves. I mean, it's crazy. It's real. All right. When we have children, we are adding more hieroglyphs to the wall because we are producing them not with language but with our minds. What is a child? Think about it. How can you have brain fluid come down your spine and out of your genitals into a woman's womb, and then she form it into something of an extraterrestrial? What does a child look like before it's even formed? The eyes are bigger. The head is bigger. There's a reason why the eyes is bigger and the head is bigger. Physical characteristics says a lot, and we'll go into that later on. But the people don't understand that your thoughts is what creates you. Your mother's thought and your father's thought created you, because sperm is brain fluid. That's what it is. Look it up. So in order for me to go into a room with my significant other, I have to say, you know what? I'm on it, whatever word y'all use today. I'm going in there and we're gonna make a baby. You get what I'm saying? So you go in there and you do your thing. Because your mind, you said that in your mind. When you spoke that out of your mind, or when you thought it, you manifested that. That's how powerful the mind is. But they teach you not to use your mind. Why? Because if you don't use your mind, somebody else will. It's just like if you got a remote control car right here, and you have the control in your hand. If I got you sidetracked looking over there, I can take the control out your hand and control it. This is what's happening with us. All right? Now, again, if you don't believe me, show me someone who could draw a child on a wall and bring that child to life. What I'm saying is that you cannot bring to life something that has a purpose more deeper than itself from a physical standpoint. Everything that our ancestors encoded on any tomb or wall was not meant to be decoded by the human brain, but by the spiritual mind, which is connected to our DNA. And the soulless beings, y'all might have in y'all mind, that's the white people. No, it's the so-called black people now too. They ain't got no souls. When I say soul, I'm going to break this down for you to its lowest common denominator. What is a soul? Because we think it's spooky. It's energy. It's frequency. So whatever frequency you resonating on, if your frequency is low, you lack soul. But you can take your soul back by raising your frequency. This is what you call shape-shifting, body snatching. Get the movie Body Snatchers. So when you raise your frequencies back to change your life, you abducted yourself.